Hey y'all, let me tell y'all about this crazy concept as I'm sitting here at my son's baseball game. When you guys have an idea, for some of y'all years ago, you thought about starting a YouTube channel, becoming a makeup artist, going back to school, coming up with a clothing line, wanted to sell lashes, hair, starting your own app, right? Becoming a fitness influencer, coming up with some type of social club in your city. Whatever it was, you had that great idea. You probably wrote it down. You probably tried to create some type of business plan. You probably shared it with your mom or one of your closest friends, and they also thought it was a good idea. For some reason, because of life and how life works, you just never got around to it. You never invested in it. It never really went anywhere. You never really took it a step further. You never really took it to the next level. You never fully finished that great idea that you had, right? And you don't execute that idea. That idea would actually bounce over to someone else until someone executes it. So for an example, I may have this amazing idea about a podcast. I have the name for it. I have the concept. I write out how I want it to be, the purpose of it, and all that good stuff. If I don't execute that podcast, I 100% believe. Oh, you want some milk? No? If I don't execute that podcast, I 100% believe that same idea would manifest into someone else. Someone else would get the same exact vision, and whoever goes ahead and executes it, then that idea, that thought, that vision, that desire will be fulfilled in life. Have you guys ever thought about something and you knew it was a great idea, you pondered on it, you put that vision in your back pocket, and then a month, a year, 2 years later, someone else had actually executed that exact idea that you already had? Have you ever tried to explain to someone that you had that exact vision that someone else had already executed? And that feeling is so annoying when nobody believes you. When you actually can talk to somebody and say, damn it. Damn it. A few years ago, I had that idea. I should have did it. I should have launched it. I should have started it. Have you guys ever just later down the line run into a business and that was it was literally exactly what you wanted to do, exactly what you wanted to open up, exactly what you wanted to start? For some of you, it may even be your parents, where your parents would say, damn, I wanted to start that food truck, or I always wanted that restaurant, or I always wanted to open up that organization to help the youth, I'm telling you guys, ideas will pass you by if you don't execute. And this is the problem. For a lot of you guys, you okay, Leary? You want to talk to them? For a lot of you guys, you focus so much on the planning part of ideas that you actually never get a chance to execute it, because you're waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right season, when you're going to drop, what's the launch going to look like. You're trying to keep up with all of these influencers that have the budget for these campaigns. Guys, when you're just simple old you have the idea, you just get started and you just work with what you have and you just try. Oh baby, what happened? Oh no. Hold on, y'all, my baby's throwing up. Guys, you simply just try. You use what you have. Oh, okay. You good? Guys, you simply just work with what you got. You're not an influencer. You don't have the same budget. You don't have the same time. You don't have the same resources, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that you can't get started. A lot of you guys, you need to get comfortable and humble yourself. You need to be comfortable being the small fish. The problem is a lot of you guys want to be the big fish. You want to be the boss and the CEO, and you want your accolades, and you want people to put respect on your name. You are too self-centered to just be a beginner at something, for something to not be 100%. You have a problem with sharing or showing the journey behind the scenes of what it takes to truly get started in any capacity. In your weight loss journey, in your makeup journey, in your spiritual journey. You don't even want to post simple things like the first day you get baptized, or you chopping off all of your hair and starting all over to get your curls back, or you focusing on your skincare and posting yourself with no makeup and showing where your acne is at this moment because you're on a new journey of clear, healthy skin. You don't want to share how in debt you are and how you're starting in 2025 to finally get financially free and get serious and grow up and be about your business and pay off all this debt. You watch people on TikTok all day share their income, what is that? Their, like when they get paid and they share like their like paycheck and how they pay things off and what they do. You say things like, I would never post online how much debt I have. I would never post online, how much I owe. I would never post online how much I make. Fine, but somebody else is actually using that vulnerability and using that transparency to make more money in order to complete their mission of getting out of debt. You tell yourself things like you don't like to share because you're focused on, you're trying to avoid the evil eye. And you don't want to tell monitoring spirits too much. So because of these monitoring spirits and how afraid you are and how you don't want to overshare, you end up getting tricked out of your spot because you're not putting yourself out there. You're not promoting your business. You're not showing us the reinvention. We are not able to support what we do not see. And so what I want you to take from this video is that maybe it's time for you to get out of your own way, get uncomfortable, and get used to starting at the bottom. Get used to being the underdog. Get used to starting at zero. Get used to being a beginner at something and not having it all figured out. The number one reason why I am so successful is because, and I'm not even at my peak, so I'm not trying to make it seem like, I'm just out here girl bossing it every day. But I will say I've accomplished way more than the average 29-year-old. And that's because I'm not afraid to start over. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to try things. Y'all know every 2 or 3 years I have this great grand idea. I have this great grand new business. I have this new hustle, and my family, they laugh at me because they feel like every year I'm just so passionate. Oh, what happened, baby? They feel like every year I'm just so passionate about a new thing. I'm just so inspired and I'm trying something. Like, there are literally running jokes in my house about how often I reinvent myself and how I just always have this new business and I always have this new gig and I'm always just so passionate about something new. And I take pride in that. If the joke's about me, if all you can say, whether it's family or friends, is that I'm always trying something new, that I'm always passionate about something new, that I'm always figuring things out, that I'm always starting a new hustle, that I'm always working a new business, I take pride in that, and I hope that my daughter is the same way, because that proves that I'm never afraid to try something new. I'm never afraid to bet on myself. I'm never afraid to change my mind. I'm never afraid to jump in a new industry. I'm never afraid to learn something. I'm never afraid to educate myself. I'm never afraid to make more money in different avenues. I'm never afraid of other sources of income. I'm never afraid of stepping outside the box. I'm never afraid of being a beginner. I'm never afraid of going to get new friends in a new city and a new industry, with a new hobby. Like, imagine being married to me and I'm constantly just trying things and working at things. I'm so busy with different hobbies. I'm always accepting new ideas into my life. Failure means nothing in my world. There is no such thing as failure, because I have amazing stories to tell. That's how I look at it. But you have to make sure that you don't allow another idea to pass you up. You have to make sure that you start getting used to just executing things when the thought comes. That's what I'm good at. I have a million Instagram pages, a million website domains. I have a million different email addresses, because every time I get a good idea, the first thing I do, buy the trademark, buy the domain, take ownership of the usernames on social media, and then I figure out the rest later. That's how I like to do things, because I don't allow the process to hinder me and to keep me stagnant. I don't tell myself, I gotta go buy an LLC, and then I gotta go find a coach, and then I gotta go pay for a course. No, I figure that shit out as I'm going, and it's so much fun figuring it out as you go. I don't wait for things to be perfect. I don't pick a launch date 6 months out and then work little by little until I get to launch date. No, I launch. The launch isn't the campaign for me. The launch is the damn launch. So I would say you guys have to get used to getting better later. So let's start there. Get used to getting better later, because some of you guys are just always about to do something, always planning something. You always have these great ideas and you never accomplish anything. Well, tell them. They never accomplish anything. They never try anything. They're always yapping. It's always about what they're going to do, what they're about to do, what they're planning on doing. Tell them to just do it. Just try it. Just see where you land. Tell them. Right? Tell them, say, what are you scared for? What are you afraid of? And think about it like this, guys. I was having a conversation with my mom about a business idea with my husband. And I said, guys, I really don't know how I feel about taking out a business loan. I don't want to owe people money. And I feel like so many people online keep talking about these business loans, but that's money that you have to pay back. Like, you have to give the bank back their money, right? And you know, my mom told me, she said, Brittany, it's funny how you'll just go to any car dealership and sign for a 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 car. You'll accept those monthly payments. Know you're going to pay those monthly payments, and you're good. You sleep good at night. You don't think twice. But when it comes to a business loan, let's say you want to take out $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. At the time in the conversation, I think we were talking about taking out like $50,000. She was like, what are you so afraid of? It's just like getting a car loan. You're going to sign off on those monthly payments. You're going to commit to paying that loan back. It's the same exact thing. And I never thought about it like that, guys. And I'm so happy that my mom broke it down like that, because y'all, that conversation unlocked something in me where I was like, okay, everything I've done to this day has been with my own money, my own investments. And shout out to my parents and my husband. But it's always been just straight cash. Can you imagine how much further I can get, or how faster I can get there, if I was borrowing someone else's money and I had the money up front to be able to invest? So I'm excited. I'm still not sold on the business idea that I want to execute, but y'all know me, I'm also not afraid. So we'll see what the rest of 2025 holds, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because things don't have to be perfect for me. I don't mind figuring it out. I don't mind serving my customer and promising them that my processes and my customer service and the customer journey will get better as time goes on. I don't mind over delivering now because I know in other areas I'm lacking because I'm a beginner. And I know that. I think with social media, we watch so many successful entrepreneurs. They have these huge warehouses and these sprinter vans that are all like wrapped with their brand, right? And they have thousands of boxes of inventory, and we watch them make so much money. We see these screenshots on Shopify, but your day one is not going to look like that at all. At all. What happened, my love? What happened? You alright? It's alright. It's okay. You alright? It's alright. I was just talking to the people. And your friend isn't going to tell you this. You have a friend right now that is so sick and tired of you calling them every time you have a great idea because you never do shit. Excuse my language, Larry. Stop waiting for somebody to acknowledge or confirm or reassure whether your business idea is good or not, or whether you can do it or not, or whether you have the money or not, or whether they think it'll be lucrative in the city you're in. Like, stop asking people's opinion. There's a reason why you keep having that idea, and year after year you just can't let it up, and you keep telling yourself, okay, one day I'm going to start this business, and one day I'm going to do this, and you follow people in that industry, and every time you see them winning, it does something in your spirit. And it's either two things: it motivates you and it makes you excited and it reminds you of the idea that you have, or it makes you a little jealous. You have a little envy because you know that you could be doing the same thing. Let me tell you guys something. If you're like me, there is a reason why you have this burning desire to be rich. There's a reason why living average and having a regular car and a regular house and 2 kids and a dog and going on vacation once a year was just never enough and never sounded satisfying. There's a reason why when you think about your ideal life, no one around you inspires you. You can't relate to your parents, your aunties, your cousins, because the life you want to live is so much richer, so much greater. It's just so much bigger than the people around you and how they're living. There is a reason why you have that specific desire. I truly believe that the Lord places this certain taste for life in us for a reason. And it's less about the money, and it's more about that freedom, that abundance, the amount of ways that we can make an impact for others. You know, I have this running joke where I say there's a reason why the Lord ain't make me rich yet, because he knows when that money touch my hand, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to be different. I'm going to talk different. I'm going to walk different. I'm going to act different. I'm going to look different. I'm going to hold my head a little bit. I'm going to walk with a little lyrics. My children, the Lord knows it. So I wholeheartedly believe that when that money comes, I am going to be ready to receive it. My heart is going to be pure enough to stack it. I am going to be fully developed to be able to be the person I want to be. But if you keep waiting for the right time, for the right moment, you keep procrastinating, you keep self-sabotaging, you keep talking your way out of things, you keep getting distracted by relationships, you keep waiting for friends to support you, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. My mom used to force us to watch the movie The Secret every single year. When you guys get a chance, go on YouTube and watch The Secret. It's about manifestation, okay? So watch that. Number 2, I want you to sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and write out your ideal life in the perfect world. And you have to remember that this is an absolute perfect world. Your love life, your career, your looks, your personality, your health, the car you drive, the house you live in, how you travel, who your friends are. I mean, I want you to get extremely detailed about your life in a perfect world. I knew since 10th grade, guys, 10th grade, I was going to have a red drop top Mercedes. I was going to live in a mansion. I was going to own real estate. I was going to have 2 kids. My son was always going to be a junior. My daughter's name was always going to be Lyric. My husband was going to be dark skinned. I've always knew this since 10th grade. I was going to be famous. I was going to be rich. I was going to buy my grandmother's house in North Philly. I wanted a house in Puerto Rico. I wanted to travel to Paris a lot. I want to spend my summers in Europe. I have my ideal life locked and ready. All I need is that money. As soon as that money come in, I already know what to do with it. I already know what to spend it on. Okay? Number 3, I want you to start reading more books and listening to more podcasts from millionaires, from successful people. Okay? You have to know how they think, how they purchase, how they strategize. Hear about their success stories, where they were when they first started. Like, I study millionaires. Number 4, I want you to get as close as possible to successful people. So pretty much, I want you to get as close as possible to people living the life you want to live. Now, this may cost some money, because successful people aren't lollygagging. Successful people aren't just hanging out. Okay, so I pay to get in these rooms. I pay to have these relationships. I'm a part of a lot of private social clubs. You guys know I'm a part of Ladies Who Golf, which is a private golf club. I'm friends with so many literal scientists, black female scientists, attorneys, successful just business women and career women and tech and in real estate, and it's amazing. But I'm also a part of mom groups, so I am friends with a bunch of rich stay-at-home moms, and I love that for them. They still rub off on me. Number 5, I want you this year to say no to anything that does not align with your perfect life, your perfect world, your dream world. Okay? So, for an example, you may spend too much money on drugs. That life may not align with that list you created for yourself. You may go to Applebee's. Depending on what you order, that may not align with your fitness goals or how healthy you claim you want to be in your perfect life, in your perfect world. You may be dating someone who doesn't even fit the criteria for the person that's going to be loving you and you're going to be loving in your perfect world. You may not want children in your perfect world and you're pregnant. You may need to go handle that. Y'all don't want to go there. Okay, so that's my homework for you guys. Start getting extremely intentional. Don't be afraid to be a beginner. Get back to what your life truly, your perfect world truly look like. And for some of you, you felt that? For some of you, you may have to go back in your older diaries when you were a kid. Because when we're kids, a lot of us were dreamers, and we dreamed a lot in order to escape our reality. I know that was me. I was in the hood in North Philly in my grandma's house. I didn't even have a room to myself. And I just remember just dreaming, I'm going to own real estate. I'm going to have all these properties, and I'm going to have 2 kids, and I'm going to drive a red Benz, a drop top. Like, I was a little kid and I used to have all of these different dreams in my perfect world. And back then, I didn't believe it. Like, I just said it just to pass the time, to make me feel better about my current circumstances as a little girl. I used to dream about my dad getting out of jail. Like, just little stuff like that. I used to dream about my dad walking me down the aisle. And he did. Amen? So that's what I mean by sometimes you may even have to go back to the younger you and ask yourself, what did I dream about when I was a kid? Who did I want to be when I was a little kid? Because for some of you, the way life ended up unfolding, and because of the cards you were dealt with, grief, bullies, drugs, sex, manipulation, trauma bonds, you are probably so far off. You're so out of touch with that person that you were when you were a kid, when you were innocent, when you truly thought that you could be anything when you grew up. Before life started to happen to you, who did you want to be? And how did you want to live? You need to get back to that. So that's pretty much all I've been doing. Again, like I've been telling you guys, becoming a mom, having 2 children, I am just so intentional about literally chasing after every little dream that I had. Baby, what happened, baby? Oh, what happened to my Snooky? What happened to my Lucky? What happened to my Snooky? What happened to my Leary? What happened, Leary Theory? Oh, okay. Oh, what happened? That's what happened? Okay, there's another song. I ain't never had nobody show me all the things that you done show me in a special way. I feel when you hold me, we gon' always be together, baby. That's what you told me, and I believe it. I ain't never had nobody do me like. I ain't never had nobody show me all the things that you done show me in a special way. I feel when you hold me, we gon' always be together, baby. That's what you told me, and I believe it, cause I ain't never had nobody do me like you.